Chalo. Okay. This video which I'm recording purely from the point of view that it is a supportive kind of a video. That if an exam में question comes, which is a 14-mark question, which you are trying to attempt, then this video must act as a support to you guys. Baba, this is not a conclusive video wherein you can go ahead and say that if you are doing a question of 14 mark in the exam, only this much will be required. But 20, 25, 20 questions which are there in our Q&A material, the big questions which we have in the Q&A material, when we go ahead and solve those big questions in our Q&A material, we experience that these are the important points which a student must be focusing. So beta, if a question comes in the exam, which is a 14-mark question, and if you have heard this video properly, then 100% you will be at least able to attempt 50% out of that question with the help of the video. Remaining 50% will be based on your conceptual knowledge, might be any additional point if they go ahead and ask. But the 20 questions which we have gone ahead and done in the class, which are the big question, we were able to do if we had all these concepts, right everyone? So I will go ahead and talk about those concepts today, which are the most important concept which a student is required when he is going ahead and solving that 14 marker question. The first question which is there, the big question which is there, which you have to go ahead and do in the exam. And trust me, if you do that big question in the exam properly, then Baba, you get a lot of confidence. And to build that confidence only, I've come up with this video so that we can go ahead and understand how to crack that grand 14 marks in the exam. Chalo, let's go ahead and start our discussion. Everyone over here now. Before I start the discussion, Baba, these notes will be available on rameshsoni.com. Free resources, under free resources, CA final November 23/May 24 May. Baba, this sheet I'll go ahead and make it available saying big question crack sheet, or Baba, let's crack the grand 14 marks sheet. This sheet I'll go ahead and make it available over there. Okay, everyone? But please listen first. Chalo. Sir, when we are going ahead and doing the big question in the exam, what should be our approach? First of all, Baba, reading the question properly is the approach. Reading the question very well, properly is the main approach which is there. Now, when you are going ahead and reading the question properly also, you need concept. So, what are the various concepts which we need from the various chapter which we have gone ahead and realized that, sir, these are the important concepts which a student must need, only then he can crack that 14 mark. Additionally, there can be, Baba, disclaimer I am giving. Additionally, there can be a new point which ICI might go ahead and ask you. But at least by far the 20 questions which we have gone ahead and seen, these are the most important point which a student needs. Now, sir, GST may, when we go ahead and discuss the important question, important section, important areas, focus areas, I've gone ahead and told. Supply chapter, when you are going ahead and discussing, Baba, when you are solving the big question which is there in the exam, supply chapter say one point which you have to take care. Baba, goods and service ka definition. In goods and service ka definition, the main important point over there is sale of securities or shares will come in the exam. Remember, they might go ahead and tell you to find out the output tax liability of a person, and they will tell you that the person has gone ahead and sold shares or securities. Remember one thing, securities and shares, people, securities and shares are neither goods nor service, and hence their sale pay there will be no GST. Now, whatever I am telling you, that will also help you in writing the notes. In the exam, whenever you are doing a big question, what are the points you are including in your answer? What are the points you are not including in your answer? Everything should have a note. Are we clear, everyone? So, sir, whenever I am going ahead and selling securities, securities are neither goods nor service, and hence, Baba, when it is not goods and service only, it will never be a supply, and hence there will be no GST. Are we clear? So first of all, when you are finding out your output tax liability, don't charge any GST. Plus, write a note also that securities are neither goods nor service, and hence no GST. But can I connect this to one important point? Whenever you are going ahead and calculating apportionment के लिए exempt supply, then Baba, securities का sale value in your section number 73 for exempt supply. Please remember, 1% of the sale value should be taken as your exempt supply for the purpose of apportionment. This will help everyone. The next one. Sir, but section number 17.3, 1% should be considered of the what, everyone? Sale value to be included as exempt supply. The next one over here is, when you are going ahead and doing that big question, in that you will see, sir, Ram has gone ahead and done a sale. Correct? for a consideration. You have to see if he has done it in the course of business. If it is falling in supply, then you have to say there is a transaction which has taken place in the course of business. So your note should be this is a transaction in the course of furtherance of business, and hence GST will come, and it will come to your output tax liability. Not very many times you will see such kind of question where you will need section number 71A, but section number 71A is basic. You should know all forms for a consideration in the course of business, whether it is sale, transfer, barter, exchange, lease, rental, license, disposal, made or agreed to be made for a consideration. So, sir, all forms for a consideration in the course of business, please include it in your supply and GST will come. The next one over here is in your supply chapter, the most important point, section number 71C. In section number 71C, the most two important points which I have always seen, many times I see in the big question is section number 71C may schedule 1 may paragraph number 1 permanent transfer of business asset on which ITC is availed only it's a supply. You will see in your question lot of time they go ahead and talk about permanent transfer of business asset. ITC is not taken. If ITC was not taken, it is not a supply. Are we clear, everyone? And hence you will not add anything to the output tax liability. Then, sir, see paragraph number 2 also comes. Sir, if it is a supply between related person or distinct person. Baba, related person, scope is very big. Scope plus family plus sole agent. You must remember related person, everyone. Scope plus family plus sole agent. What is scope, everyone? Shares greater than 25% in both of them. These two will become related. Control. One person is controlling two people. Then these two become related. These two are controlling someone else, then also these two become related. These two are controlling each other, also then they become related person. Are we clear, everyone? O for officer or this is control, officer or director, partners, employer, employee are always related person. Family may remember, we have Supreme Court, spouse and children, dependent, independent, always related. PGBS, parents, grandparent, brother, sister, only if dependent they are related person, and sole agent across India, if you have one agent, they will always be a related person. And always remember supply between related person or distinct person. Same state, separate registration, distinct person. One state registered, another state registered, distinct person. One state registered, another state not registered also, distinct person. And Baba, whenever it says supply between related person or distinct person, please remember GST will come. And GST के लिए you will apply the valuation rule which is there. Valuation rule number 28. Remember, valuation rule number 28 you will connect, and when it is agent, valuation rule number 29 you will connect. Can I go ahead, everyone? Please don't forget that. If by chance in the exam you see supply between related person, distinct person, please connect to valuation rule number 28 and 29 and then take the value. Can we go ahead, everyone? The next one. So these two paragraphs are the most important paragraph. Number one, I'm not discussing everything. I'm telling you what are the important points we see. Number one is permanent transfer of business asset when ITC has been availed. Secondly, everyone, supply between related person and distinct person in the course of business. Baba, that will also be a supply, but the value has to be taken as per valuation rules. The next one over here. Sir, marginal scheme. Remember one thing, whenever you see motor vehicle, which is held as capital asset in your business and you have sold that motor vehicle, marginal scheme will be adopted. Sir, selling price minus the depreciated value. If depreciation was not claimed, then selling price minus the purchase price. Whatever is the difference will be taken as your value of supply. Basically, you will take that value in your computation. Can I go ahead, everyone? Computation of output tax liability ke liye, you need the value. That margin will be taken as the value. Can we go ahead, everyone? Then schedule 3 comes. Section number 71C. What is neither supply of goods nor supply of service? You will see that they will give you in the exam that, sir, employee gave some services to the employer. Baba, employee to employer services, there is no GST. So, sir, if supposingly any employee gave employer ko services, on that employer has paid this much amount, Baba, employer paid salary, on that employer will not get any input tax credit. Because salary pay there is no GST only, how will you get input tax credit? Secondly, you will see one person has done non-taxable tax supply to non-taxable territory. China say they have supplied goods directly to US without the goods entering into India. Baba, when the goods have not entered into India, it's a non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory transaction, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. You will see high sea sale. You sold the goods to your friend without clearing the goods only. The goods are in the high seas or they have reached the port. Remember one thing, what will you tell in the exam? Sir, it's a high sea sale transaction wherein goods have left the port of exportation, but they have yet to be cleared from the Indian port. It means it's a high sea sale transaction. And Baba, in GST, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Next, bond to bond transfer, everyone. Warehouse goods, you sold it. Remember, no output tax liability will come. When you are doing your computation of GST liability ka question, under your GST, that 14 mark ka question, Baba, there will be no output tax liability. Because high seas sale pay. Under GST, you don't pay any GST. It is neither supply bond to bond transfer pay, you don't pay any GST. Can I go ahead, everyone? So in your output tax liability, nothing will come. The next one, bond to bond transfer, supply of actionable claim. Baba, remember one thing. Sir, supposingly I received insurance claim. Baba, that's a actionable claim. Actionable. So supposing there was a loss. Because of the loss by fire, I received an actionable claim. I received an insurance claim. Remember one thing. Actionable claim are neither supply of goods nor supply of service, other than lottery, betting, and gambling. The next one over here is composite supply and mixed supply. In the exam, you will see over there that they are going ahead and talking about the big question which you will see. A lot of places you will see that composite supply and mixed supply. Sir, what is a composite supply? Two or more taxable supply, naturally bundled, supplied in conjunction with each other. And sir, one is a principal supply, supplied together, and one is a principal supply. Sir, in that scenario, when one is a principal supply, taxable at the rate of principal supply. Please remember when you are writing note, if above you have used anywhere the theory of composite supply, in the notes you have to write composite supply ka definition and come. Then, sir, mixed supply. What is mixed supply? Two or more individual supplied. Supply supplied for a single price. And it is not a composite supply. Then, Baba, it will be what, everyone? They are just supplied for a single price, and Baba, it is not a composite supply. Then it's a mixed supply taxable at the rate of highest rate. It will be treated as a supply of that supply which attracts highest rate. Please remember this explanation. It will help you in writing the notes. The next one, sir, we understood related person. Remember one thing, whenever you talk about a related person ka definition, whenever you talk about anything about the related person, please write a note saying, sir, this person is considered as a related person and hence we are applying valuation rule. Everything should be supported by a note. The next one over here, circular on Pagdi system. People, when I am giving transfer of tenancy right against tenancy premium, people, giving of tenancy right against tenancy premium is what, everyone? Pagdi system. Remember, if given for residential property, it will be exempt. But for commercial property, it will be taxable. Please don't forget it. Can I go ahead? And when the person who is surrendering it and going, at that time, whether it is residential property or commercial property, surrendering back will always be taxable. So supposingly they go ahead and tell you Ram is a person who is going and doing business. He has surrendered his tenancy right of commercial property. GST liability will come. Please be very careful about it in the exam. The next one, they go ahead and talk about joint venture. People, I am the member of the joint venture, operating member. If I provide any services to the joint venture members or to the joint venture and receive any consideration, that is a service provided by me. And always remember that will be included in my outward supplies and I have to pay the GST. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next one, sir, remember taxability of cost petroleum and profit petroleum. Government gave me the license to explore mineral oil. People, government gave me the license to explore mineral oil. I extracted mineral oil or petroleum. Supposingly petroleum. Government gave me the license to extract petroleum. Here, when I extracted petroleum, government told me some petroleum you keep it because you have incurred some cost. Cost petroleum is never a consideration because I have given some services to the government. Here, simple it is. Government gave me the license. Government is the licensor. I am the licensee. I will go ahead and give government share of profit petroleum. After deducting the cost, whatever petroleum is left, that cost share I will give it to the government, and that is profit petroleum. Remember, profit petroleum which you give to the government, government is giving you the license and you give profit petroleum, you have to pay GST on government services under RCM. But profit petroleum has been exempted, and on profit petroleum you don't have to pay any GST. Cost petroleum is not a consideration only, and hence on cost petroleum also GST will not come. When it is not a consideration only, cost petroleum pay also GST will not come. Profit petroleum pay GST has been exempted. The next one, you will see a lot of places where liquidated damages will come. Baba, remember one thing, liquidated damages paid to the government or paid to anyone, liquidated damages are no more. Because of the circular, it has been clarified that, sir, refraining, tolerating or to do an act, refraining, tolerating or to do an act, if it is under a contract, then Baba, it will come under supply. But otherwise, if you are receiving liquidated damages, generally if you see in the exam, Baba, remember one thing, liquidated damages are never consideration, and Baba, it will never come under There will be no GST liability on that. Can we go ahead, everyone? Please remember, liquidated damages will never come under consideration. Liquidated damages are never consideration, and whatever liquidated damages you receive, on that there will be never any GST liability. Please be very careful about it in the exam. The next one, if you see over here, the next point which will always help you in the exam. Chalo, the next one, nature of supply. Baba, nature of supply mein one thing which I want you to remember, export of service. Everyone, supplies in India. Export of service means service where location of supply is in India, location of recipient is outside India, place of supply is outside India. Sir, payment is received in foreign convertible currency or INR wherever permitted by RBI, and you both are not mere establishment of distinct person. Then, Baba, it will be an export of service. Chalo, theek hai. Please remember export of service. Wherever you see export of service, please write the definition properly and come. Sir, section number 16, zero-rated supply. Zero-rated supply means two things. Remember, zero-rated supply means exports and supply to an SEZ. Whenever you are supplying to SEZ or exports are always zero-rated supply. And Baba, zero-rated supply can be made under LUT. And whenever you see in the exam, know that, sir, this person has done zero-rated supply, you please search in the question if there is any LUT ka thought. If any LUT is told, then your output tax liability may no GST liability. On your output tax liability, GST liability will not come. Can I go ahead, everyone? But sir, if they have told that LUT was not given, then in your output tax liability, please add the GST liability. The next is section number 9. We saw in one question also. I saw in one question that, sir, they had gone ahead and told that, sir, this person has gone ahead and supplied in the territorial waters of India. Now, in the territorial waters of India, whichever is the nearest coastal state, that will become the place of supply. If place of supply is in the same state, you will charge CGST, SGST. If it is in different state, you will charge IGST. So this section number 9 will help you in determining the place of supply. Baba, if place of supply is in the territorial water, nearest coastal state. If supply is in the territorial water, his location will be in the nearest coastal state. This will always help you in determining CGST, SGST or IGST, intrastate transaction or interstate transaction. Next, whenever you go ahead and read the next chapter, which is a charge of GST ka chapter. In the charge of GST ka chapter, I want you guys to be very careful. In the exam, if they are going ahead and talking about GTA ka services, goods transport agency ka services, GTA ka services, if GTA has opted for 12% forward charge mechanism, then Baba, you will get that ITC. He will charge you GST, you will get that 12% ka ITC. You don't have to pay any reverse charge. But if they have not told anything, then you can go ahead and assume accordingly that saying, sir, I have to pay the GST under RCM. Please be very careful about GTA services. They have given at lot of places the GTA services which are there. Sir, are the GTA services exempted? Is there any forward charge which will come? If GTA is opting for 12%, then forward charge. Otherwise, reverse charge mechanism mein you have to pay GST under 5%. Correct, everyone? Can I go ahead on this? Will you remember this? Baba, remember, GTA ka services, if they are provided to factory, which is registered under Factories Act, body corporate registered under companies, basically under their act, society, cooperative society, partnership firm, FB scoop, or if it is provided to a registered person, then Baba, always remember, these people will have to pay the GST under RCM at the rate of 5%. Are we clear, everyone? Please remember, GTA services, even if they are provided to unregistered person, but is FB scoop, factory, body corporate society, cooperative society, and partnership firm, they have to pay GST under RCM. If they are providing GTA services to registered person, then registered person will pay GST under RCM. But registered person, if he is a TDS deductor, Baba, registered person, if he is a TDS deductor, then it is under exemption. Are we clear, everyone? Please remember that point. Reverse charge mechanism. Remember, renting of immovable property by the government, you always have to pay GST under RCM. You will see in your question paper. Sir, Ram is a person carrying on the business and he has taken renting of immovable property from the government. Then, Baba, he has to pay GST under RCM. Remember, you have to pay under RCM and you will get ITC also. Secondly, director ka services. People, they will tell you in the exam. Director services are received. Baba, director services pay, you will pay GST under RCM and you will take credit also. They will tell you paid amount to the director who is, and the amount paid, TDS had been deducted under 192. Remember one thing, director services ke liye one circular is there. If the director ko amount which you have paid on that TDS is under 192, then no GST payable under RCM. But sir, if director ko you have paid sitting fees, etc., professional fees, TDS done under 194J, then GST is payable under RCM and you will get credit also. Sponsorship services, always remember, services provided to body corporate or partnership firm. Sponsorship services provided to body corporate or partnership firm, only GST will come under RCM. Legal services, people remember, advocates say you have taken legal services. If you are a business entity, in your question paper search, is your turnover in the preceding financial year more than registration limit? Only then you have to pay GST under RCM. Next, renting of motor vehicle. People, if there is anyone who has given renting of motor vehicle, fuel cost, it is passenger vehicle, fuel cost is included, and he is not charging you 12%. He is not charging you 12%. Then you have to pay GST under RCM. If you are a body corporate, remember one thing. If you are a body corporate, do you remember everyone? Don't forget this renting of motor vehicle wala point. They will go ahead and ask this. I'll connect it over here. See, renting of motor vehicle designed to carry passenger. Fuel cost is included in the consideration chart book, page number 6. And sir, here any person who does not issue an invoice 12%, then you, if you are a body corporate, see in the question, if he is a body corporate, then he has to pay GST under RCM. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next one over here, security services. Remember, security services, that is security guards provided by any person who is not a company, and if you are a registered person, then only you have to pay GST under RCM. But remember, registered person, if he is a TDS deductor or composition dealer, then reverse charge will not come, forward charge will come. Please be careful about the security service. Next, recovery agent. Baba, recovery agent giving services to the bank. Bank will pay GST under RCM. So if I am a recovery agent, you are trying to find out my output tax liability, then remember, if I have given the services, then output tax liability will not come. I will not have any output tax liability because bank will pay the GST under RCM. Are we clear? But recovery agent giving services to car dealer, careful, GST will come under forward charge. Reverse charge is only when you are giving recovery agent services to whom? Bank, financial institution, and NBFC in the taxable territory. Let's go ahead, everyone. Are we all clear with this point? Yes. Registration chapter may I've told only one point. Non-taxable supplies you have to remember. What are your non-taxable supplies? HP man, high-speed diesel, petroleum crude, motor spirit, aviation turbine fuel, and natural gas. Okay, sir. Sir, if you are transferring within the same state to a branch, is it a supply? It's your additional place of business which is not separately registered, then it is not a supply. There will be no output tax liability. Please be very careful about it. Next one, everyone. Exemption ka chapter. You will see, sir, there is a charitable trust providing yoga, and that charitable trust is registered under 12 AA or AB. Baba, remember, 12 AA or AB may, if you are registered, then your charitable trust ka services may, there will be no GST. Yoga is exempted. Can I go ahead, everyone? Next, educational institution. Remember one thing. If I am an educational, you are trying to find out one group of entity ka output tax liability, and that group of entity is an educational institution providing services to its student, faculty, and staff. Remember, it will be an exempt service. But coaching services provided by coaching institutes are not exempt. So if they tell you in the exam that Ram is running a coaching institute, it is not an educational institution. Remember, GST will come. People able to recall, able to connect it. Next, remember, lot of places you will see interest. Interest is always exempted. Interest is always exempt. Interest is always an exempt supply. Can I go ahead, everyone? And in the note you can write services by way of extending deposit, so far as the consideration is represented by way of interest, is an exempt supply. But remember, when you are doing section number 17(3) ka calculation, section number 17(3) mein interest is not an exempt supply. Interest is not an exempt supply. It will come under your total turnover in your exempt supply ka calculation for 17(3). Next, renting of residential dwelling for use as residence. You will see a lot of question may, Baba, it is an exempt supply. Can I go ahead, everyone? But here, please be very careful about it. If it is given to a registered person, if I am a registered person, took renting of residential property, then I have to pay GST under RCM and I will get the credit also. Please be very careful about this in the exam. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next one, agriculture. What is agricultural produce and what is not agricultural produce? For an example, I'll tell you. Sir, what did we see in the big question, everyone? Agricultural produce related. Potato and potato chips. Potato is agricultural produce. So any services taken with respect to potato, no GST. But if it is taken with respect to potato chips, GST will come and you will get credit also. Provided you are a supplier of that potato chips, output tax pay liability is there, input tax rate you will get. Next, government related service training program in which government has borne 75% of the expenditure. It is exempt. 75%, remember. Next, transport, If it is less than 75%, then it's a taxable. Next, transportation by road, rail, including exemption. Please remember one thing, sir. GTA services are taxable. Courier services are taxable. Other than that, given by individual truckwalas who are not issuing consignment note, bullock cart, horse cart ka services, all those pe GST is always exempted. Can I go ahead, everyone? And also remember, goods transport agency or rail ka route se, or might be if you are going in and transporting by coastal transportation, if it is random item, exemption is there. Random item means what? Relief material, agricultural produce, newspaper and magazine, defense and military equipment, organic manure, milk, salt, food grain, rice, flour, and pulses. Can I go ahead, everyone? Next, pure labor contract. Remember, pure labor contract with respect to single residential unit is exempt, not commercial unit. Next, sir, excess royalty collection contractor. People remember that point of excess royalty collection contractor. Don't forget, in excess royalty collection contractor, government gives the right to collect royalty, and on whatever amount he is paying, if he has to pay supposedly 18 lakh rupees GST under RCM, and if minor has already paid 18 lakh rupees GST on the excess royalty, then Baba, this amount will be exempted. But if minor has paid supposedly only 16 lakh and he had to pay 18 lakh GST on the amount, then sir, the differential 2 lakh has to be paid by him under RCM. Please remember this excess royalty collection contractor point. Sir, services by foreign diplomat mission is exempt, not services to. Services by foreign diplomat mission. When foreign diplomat mission is giving the service, then it is exempt, not taking. Can I go ahead, everyone? So if you give services to a foreign diplomat mission, GST will come. Next, sir, the next chapter which will be very important is value of supply ka chapter. First of all, you remember value of supply is always the transaction value. Secondly, you should remember topics are to be included: taxes other than GST, obligation of the supplier met by recipient, packing charges, special packing, whatever. I for incidental charges, I for interest, penalty, late fee. Interest, penalty, late fee, always assume it to be inclusive unless told otherwise in the question. Always assume it to be inclusive of GST. Make it exclusive and only then add to the value. C for commission. Remember, only selling commission, buying commission not to be included. And as for subsidy, subsidy other than government subsidy and subsidy which is linked to price. Please be very careful about it. 15.2 may include transportation cost. People remember, in lot of places you will see FOR contract. FOR contract means supplier has told that I will bear the burden of transportation, and in that scenario always remember it will always be included even if the transportation cost is paid by the buyer. You have to remember who has agreed to pay the transportation, and FOR is freight on road. FOR means supplier's liability to pay the cost of transportation, and it should always be included in the value of supply. The next one, 15.3, discount. Remember, discount given at the time of supply or before and included in the invoice should only be excluded. Given after, then you have to see three conditions. Ali condition, agreement, linked to invoice, and ITC reversal is done by the recipient. Only if three conditions are satisfied, it will be excluded. Otherwise, discount will not be excluded. Discount will form value of supply ka part, and you have to pay GST on that. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next one, valuation rule number 28. Please be very careful. Valuation rule number 28 is applicable in case of related person and distinct person other than agent. Any agent you leave it. Any agent will come in valuation rule number 29. Sir, including the proviso, you have to remember. Sir, first of all, you will take open market value in rule number 28. Open market value is not there. Like, kind, and quality. Rule number 30, 110% of the cost of acquisition or cost of production. And then it will go to rule number 31, which is the residual method. Sir, then you come to the proviso over here. Proviso, remember, if the recipient is eligible for full ITC, then whatever invoice value you show, that can be taken as the value of supply. Sir, then I went into that can be taken as the open market value, and that will become the value of supply. And sir, one more I told you, if recipient is supplying the goods as such, whatever value he is supplying, of that 90% can be taken as the value of supply between you and your related or distinct person. Can I go ahead, everyone? Remember that proviso. Valuation rule number 29 came, Baba, whenever you are supplying through agent, open market value or 90% of the like, kind, and quality ka price when he is supplying to his customer who are not related person, of that 90% can be taken as the value of supply between agent and the principal and the agent. Remember that point. And sir, if that is not there, 30 and then 31. Sir, rule number 30, based on cost, this will also help you 110% of the cost of production, cost of acquisition, or cost of providing the service. Next, over here comes tax invoice ka chapter. In tax invoice chapter, one place I've seen that's goods sent on approval. You have to take care of that section number 31.7. In case of approval, invoice should be raised when? Because if the invoice is raised in this month, then Baba, that will come in your output tax liability. And the front party also can take the credit. So people tell me one thing, in case of goods sent on approval, when do you raise the invoice? When the approval is given or 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier. Please be very careful about it. Then e-invoice ka one point I saw. E-invoice ka one point I've seen that sir, e-invoice ka case mein they have told supplier is required e-invoicing, but supplier issued you the invoice without going ahead and putting the invoice reference number. IRN is not generated. Remember one thing, if a supplier is required to generate IRN and he has not gone ahead and registered the invoice, he has not gone ahead and done the e-invoicing and given you the invoice, that invoice is not an invoice at all. You will not be able to take the credit on the basis of that document. That's an invalid document. Can I go ahead, everyone? The next one over here is banking company. Banking company gave you a consolidated tax invoice. Can you take the credit? Yes. Time of supply may please be very careful about it. One point you have to see is in case of goods, you don't have to pay any GST on advance. So if you are a supplier of goods and you have received some advance, don't pay any GST. Liability will not come. In case of goods, liability will come only on date of invoice or last date to issue invoice as per section number 12.2, read with notification number 66/2017, which went ahead and told advance का केस में GST is not required to be paid in case of supplier of goods, only under forward charge. The next is services का केस में reverse charge is applicable. Services का केस में if I am a supplier of service, I have received an advance, I am required to pay the GST on advance. The next one over here is ITC का chapter, that will also be very helpful. One point came where motor vehicle का discussion came. Motor vehicle का definition became important. Why, sir? Because motor vehicle में they went ahead and told there is a three-wheeler which is being purchased and the CC is just 20 cc. Baba, remember, motor vehicle does not include any motor vehicle which is three-wheeler, etc., and where the CC is less than 25 cc. Are we clear? That is not a motor vehicle only. If it is not a motor vehicle, the credit is not blocked. Special purpose vehicles which you use in your factories, those are not motor vehicles. Are we clear, everyone? And you will always get the credit. Please remember the next one, section number 16.2, condition for taking the credit. People, do you remember the condition? You should have the tax paying document. Always remember, you should have the tax paying document. You should have received the goods, services, or both. Yes or no, everyone? The amount should be appearing in your GSTR 2A. The amount should not be restricted. Tax should be paid by the government and you should have filed your return. Only then you will get the credit. These conditions in section number 16.2 is very, very important. I'll show you the condition once more time so that you remember it properly. People over here, remember one thing. Number one, you should be in possession of the tax invoice, revised tax invoice, or other document which are birds, bill of entry. Sir, if I have gone ahead and imported the goods and I want to take the credit of the IGST, bill of entry का basis पे I can take. I for ISD का invoice, R for reverse charge के केस में revised tax invoice और reverse charge का केस में self invoice. D for debit note and S for supplier's invoice. On this basis, you can take the credit. Can I go ahead, everyone? This is number one. Number two over here, supplier should show in GSTR 1 and it should come in your 2A, 2B. Only then you can go ahead and take the credit, and 2B may also it should not be restricted. You should have received the goods, only then you can take the credit. The next one over here is, sir, tax should be paid by the supplier to the government, and the last one over here is, sir, return should be filed. And here one rule number 37 is also there. Please be very careful about it. Can I go ahead, everyone? Next. Sir, section number 16.3. Please remember, everyone, section number, rule number 37A is an amendment. Correct, everyone? Even if the supplier has not paid the tax to the government, even if the supplier has not paid the tax to the government, you'll still be eligible to take the credit. But if it does not pay till next year ka September, then by 30th November, you have to go ahead and reverse the credit. Are we clear, everyone? If you don't reverse by 30th November, then you have to reverse with interest. Everyone over here now. That was not the point only. We don't want to discuss that. Section number 16.3. Baba, remember, if they tell you in the question, that, sir, machinery purchase, depreciation taken, including the tax component, then don't take the ITC. Please be very careful. Next, section number 17.1, read with rule number 42, apportionment. Very, very important. Baba, please take T. T is the total credit. All the credits. Then minus T1, personal purpose, remove it. Then Baba, T2, exempt supply, remove it. T3, block credit, remove it. What will remain is C1. And Baba, C1 ka credit will go into your E credit ledger. You will take it. Do you guys agree with me? Then taxable supply related exclusively, remove it. What will come is C2, common credit. Common credit say D1 and D2. D1 is relating to what? Whatever is the common credit multiplied by exempt turnover divided by total turnover, common credit multiplied by 5% over here. This is only required if they go ahead and tell you that there was some personal use of the common credit which was there, and the remaining will come. Always remember, this you will take the credit and this you will reverse the credit, and hence the net credit will come like this. In your exam, please remember, this is the amount of credit you are taking, this is the amount of reversal, and this is the net credit available to you. Can I go ahead? And remember, when you are taking E by F, don't consider central excise duty, state excise duty, VAT and CST. Please remember that point. Are we clear with rule number 42? Then, sir, section number 17.3 talks about exempt supply for the purpose of apportionment. Remember, exempt supply for the purpose of apportionment is what, everyone? Sir, exempt supply is always nil rated supply, wholly exempt supply, nil rated supply, wholly exempt supply, non-taxable supply. Plus, whenever I am going ahead and taking section number 17.3, I will go ahead and include supply under RCM also as my exempt supply. Transaction in securities 1% of the sale value. And sir, sale of land and completed building, always take stamp duty value, don't forget. And remember, in your exempt supply, when you are considering for the purpose of apportionment, do not include interest income, but in case of banking company, you will include. Otherwise, do not include interest income, value of supply of transportation of goods by a vessel from custom station in India to outside India. Anyways, it's a taxable supply now. And sir, duty credit scrape also, value of supply of duty credit scrape should not be included as exempt supply. Very, very important to remember. The next one over here is block credit. In block credit, what I have gone ahead and seen is they mainly go ahead and focus on these points which are there. One is motor vehicle. Please remember, motor vehicle ka credit you don't get, but some exceptions are there. Sir, please be very careful about it. Further supply, transportation, training, etc. ke liye you will get the credit. Here, remember, all this general insurance, servicing, repair and maintenance ka credit you don't get. But if it is taken by whom? If you are using the motor vehicle for specified purpose, further supply, transportation, training, then you will get the credit. If you are a manufacturer, then also you'll get the credit. And if you are into general insurance services, then also you'll get the credit. Always remember one thing, all these food and beverages, outdoor catering, etc. services, plus this travel benefits to employee and club membership, health and fitness center membership, credit is not there. But in the exam, they will tell you that this was taken because of a statutory obligation. Remember, if these services, food and beverage, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, leasing, renting, hiring of motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft, health services, cosmetic, plastic surgery, life insurance, health insurance, travel benefit given to employees on vacation, and Baba life club membership, and health and fitness center ka membership, if it is given as a statutory obligation, then you will get the credit. Remember one thing, works contract and Baba good services received for construction of immovable property, you will not get the credit. But with respect to plant and machinery, you get the credit. And one important point which I have always seen is plant and machinery, may they say plant and machinery purchase, works contract service taken for the foundation. Baba, foundation ke liye also you will get the credit. But remember, plant and machinery does not include land and building, civil structure, telecommunication and pipeline laid outside the factory. You will not get the credit. Done, everyone. Please be very careful about it. The next one, payment of taxes may set off ka rule you have to remember, because you will have output tax liability, you will have input tax credit. You have to set off. Remember, IGST should always be used for IGST. People with me. IGST should be used for IGST. Then IGST you will use for CGST or SGST. Any order, any proportion you use it. Then Baba, IGST should be exhausted. Then you use your CGST for CGST, CGST for IGST, then SGST for SGST, SGST for IGST. CGST to SGST, SGST to CGST is never possible. If you have any IGST payable in the exam, first use your CGST and then use your SGST. IGST payable, first you will use always your CGST and then you will use your SGST. The next one, remember RCM liability, any RCM liability, output tax is there, input tax is there, input you will set off and balance will come in which is payable in cash. No, along with the cash, please add whatever is your RCM liability. See, RCM liability always to be paid in cash and also to be taken credit in the same month. So to be paid in cash, then take the credit. Don't forget that point, people. Don't forget that point. RCM, whenever you are taking RCM ka input tax credit, please put it in your payable in the e-cash ledger. Otherwise, you'll forget at the last. Next, sir, rule number 86B, one point is there. Remember, 1% of your output tax liability always has to be paid in cash. 1% of your output tax liability always has to be paid in cash. Whatever is your output tax liability at the end, always to be paid in cash. 1% to be always paid in cash. But this is not applicable if you are a person who has gone ahead and filed in the last 2 years your return and paid more than 1 lakh rupees income tax. Last year, previous year, you have got refund of more than 1 lakh rupees. Number 3, you are a statutory body, public sector undertaking. Correct, everyone? Yes or no? Arey, sir. I'll show you that also. Here, this is not applicable, Baba, where you have paid more than 1 lakh rupees income tax in the last 2 years. You have received refund more than 1 lakh rupees in the last financial year on the basis of your unutilized for the unutilized ITC. Sir, you have discharged more than 1 lakh rupees, more than 1% cumulatively, or sir, you are a government department, public sector undertaking, local authority, or a statutory body. In that scenario, this provision is not applicable. Then, everyone over here. Place of supply mein I went in and saw section number 10(1)(d) pe one point was there. The place of installation or assembly becomes the place of supply. So basically, there was a person outside India who told you to install one machine somewhere and you installed it in India only. So the place of supply becomes in India and you will charge GST. Can I go ahead, everyone? So take care about it. Place of assembly or installation. Place of supply mein section number 13(3). Performance-based services, always the place of supply is place of performance. There was a question where they went in and told place of performance. Supply is outside India, place of performance also outside India. GST will not come. It is not importation of service also, because importation is supply is outside India. Recipient is in India. Place of supply is in India. Then it becomes importation of service. Here, no importation, no GST payable under RCM. Next, sir, section number 13(8), intermediate service was there. Intermediate services, always remember location of supplier of service, always the place of supply. Then, sir, exports under GST. But one point was there wherein they went in and told something about merchant export. Remember one thing: if you are a merchant exporter, you will buy from people. They will charge you 0.5% CGST, 0.05% CGST, and 0.05% SGST, or 1%, 0.1% IGST. That ka credit you will get. So it will come in your input tax credit, and you can also apply for a refund under rule number 89 4B, and you will get full amount of refund. Please be very careful about it. Always remember one thing: whenever you are solving big question answers, write your assumption properly. Every question ka point, when you write the answer, output tax liability, you have mentioned 5 points. 5 points should have a note. Every input tax credit, every point should have a note. As and when you keep writing the notes also. Don't miss out. First point is, whenever you are see, in your exam, always write first. If the question is asking you about net liability, output tax liability, input tax credit, and the net amount payable. Okay, everyone. This you write as working note number 1. This will be your 1 page. Working note number 2. This will be your 2nd page. Are we clear, everyone? And listen, whenever you are talking about amount payable in cash note, down only you keep space. Wherever you are writing RCM wala amount also. And this will be your total amount payable. Are you guys able to understand? So remember one thing. Whenever you are taking ITC over here, you will write in your RCM also. Whenever you are writing supposingly any amount over here, for that write a note. Whenever you are writing any amount over here, write a note. Can we go ahead, everyone? Please remember to follow the format properly. Chalo. Always, every point included in answer and not included should always be supported by a note. Always first include RCM liability as payable in cash and then add it to your ITC also. These are some of the common things or some of the points which I thought as a student which will be helpful in the exam. Right, everyone? All the best, guys. Please don't forget to practice. Practicing is the most important point. I hope this small video which is there will be helpful. Although it's not a conclusive video that only big question may only this point will come. But these are the most important points which you have gone ahead and noticed. And I thought this video will be helpful for you guys. If this video was helpful, please leave a comment and let me know if this was helpful for you guys to remember the entire 14 mark concept. Love you all. Bye guys. Take care.